transfer the vinyl, I'm going to put this vinyl here. It's going to be very similar to the stickers. Just clean your surface with some water if you can. A little bit of alcohol, actually helpful. And then make sure your surface is dry before you start putting the vinyl on there. It's all clean and dry. And all you're going to need is an ID, a credit card, something to squeegee. You'll take the vinyl and you'll peel and be very careful that the clear transfer paper pulls all of the sticker up. Just like this. And you can start with just part of it and leave the paper on for part of it. Like this. In my application, I'm making sure that this circle fits in the middle of his hand, so that's why I'm pulling it back halfway. And I want to make sure that that's in the center there. Just like so. Then I'm going to take my ID or squeegee. You can have tools like this if you have tools like this. And just use a credit card or an ID. Gently start coaxing it onto the surface. Make sure you don't have too many bubbles on there. Start squeegeeing out the bubbles as you're putting it on. And then it's on there. And then you just start lifting up on the paper. Or with smaller ones, you could just pull the whole thing off and put it on there and then just squeegee it off. But you want to go end to end. You don't want to just slap it on there because there will be bubbles underneath. So you want to squeegee like this. Make sure all the bubbles stay out. There's a great example. There's a little bit of bubble. I can pull up just a little tiny bit just to hit that bubble. And then I can squeegee that bubble down. And then just keep squeegeeing. And this is the end of my surface, so I'm going to just cut it off. And then I'll trim later. And then here's the fun part. Now to pull the contact sheet off, you just have to be very careful and patient. Surfaces like glass or non-porous surfaces, you're going to run a lot less risk of pulling your stencil up or your sticker up. But you always need to be careful. What you want to do is kind of pull a corner back that's not connected to any vinyl and start kind of wiggling gently and pull down towards the surface. If you pull directly up, you run the risk of pulling the sticker back up off the surface. So you want to kind of pull flat against it, and I like to wiggle a little bit as I'm doing so. And you just be very careful and slow. And you'll have little spots like this that aren't connected to any vinyl. Little tiny pieces. Just make sure you're very slow around those areas. If they start to come up, it's okay. Just go back, kind of rub on the vinyl a little bit, and then come back. Sometimes you need something like a knife, or everybody kind of has a knife laying around, so just grab a knife, kind of push down on it a little bit to hold it onto the surface, and then pull the transfer sheet away from it. Okay. And then you just slowly kind of start working your way down, paying attention to those little spots. Make sure they're not coming up with the transfer sheet. slowly start coming back towards yourself or down or however you're doing it. And then again, if those pieces start coming back up, just kind of rub them down, go back over it. You don't need to push the whole thing down. It's okay. Just rub on that little spot to kind of put more pressure on it, and then come back. And again, if it starts coming back up, it's okay to grab something and just kind of push down on it. I don't really need to, but like so, and then pull back away from it until it stays on there. You can kind of put a little bit of pressure, make sure it stays. Slowly start working your way around back. There you go. You really need to trim that up. Some of the spots you might want to, just like that, kind of corner came up a little bit, so you might want to put a little bit of pressure, push down on it, just like that. And that's all there is to it.